cease so my mind don't erupt. At times I feel I can't get enough, but I sip a double cup and I spin a couple bucks. Sending out some love to my blood, to my girl, to my buds, to the homie up above. And no more time for picking up to these fakes who ain't around when the time's getting rough. 6 million ways to die, so I spit into this truth when I pray for lies. Everybody wanna talk, but all I hear is lies. Everybody been fake, all I see in their eyes. 6 million ways to die, so I spit into this truth when I pray for lies. Everybody wanna talk, but all I hear is lies. Everybody been fake, all I see in their eyes.
In this video, we are going to take a look at my Stealth Arms Platypus, which I've been super impressed with so far. The Platypus was the OG when it comes to Glock mag-fed 1911 style handguns, and they really do have a process down that both produces incredible high-quality guns as well as allows for the ultimate customization of them. They even let you choose the type and color of Cerakote you want, so just for fun, I went with an Elite type Cerakote, which is super thin yet strong and made for an extremely smooth, polished finish. I did think the sand color I chose was going to be more tan instead of green toned, but I'm not mad about how it turned out at all, and I'm excited to share what I love and don't love about this build and setup. The best way to support the channel is by becoming a member of the kit page, where I provide discount codes and organize all the links to everything I talk about on the channel. Super quick, make sure you signed up for this month's range day. Details are linked in the description. Huge thank you to the sponsors of the channel, Guns Online, thank you. HSL Ammo, they sponsor most if not all of the ammo you see me shoot. It's fantastic. And of course, Optics Planet, thank you. I have discount codes for all of them below. Full disclosure, I was able to talk to the owner of Stealth Arms at SHOT Show last year and had a great conversation with him. Tim is an extremely genuine person who loves what he does and is passionate about his product. After our conversation and holding some of the guns there, I was super interested in getting one on the channel, and they were able to get one to me for free for this review. No contracts, no money exchange, just an obligation on my end to share my honest thoughts on my experience with it so far. So that's my relationship with Stealth Arms. Starting with the gun itself, the base of it, I decided to build out on their website the design that I thought looked the best. Mine came out to be around $2 grand when I was done with it, and that's partially because of the added magwell OptiCut as well as some of the other add-ons I opted for. So you can build this for much less, but because it was for the channel, I went all out. I'm honestly shocked at how inexpensive these are in comparison to the other products that are like this out there. I mean, I would expect to pay way more to get a fully custom gun in this tier of quality. Really, if you think about it, they don't have these for the most part ready to ship. They are all custom made. Your gun is literally being handled and assembled from start to finish by somebody, which means the quality control must be phenomenal. And that was really apparent with the reliability, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but it has been absolutely incredible. I'll kind of walk you through what I chose and why here. Their website is absolutely fantastic, and I would say it's one of the most impressive custom weapon websites I've ever seen. I mean, the ability to customize literally every single piece is just super incredible. So I'm here on the Stealth Arms website on the Build a Platypus section, and this is what you're presented with when you first get on here, and then you have your designs and in stock. This was just recently added. I guess they have a couple pre-made options that you can order right away. Because everything's custom made, their process does take a couple weeks. So you can see here, if ordered today, custom gun lead times are 14 to 16 weeks. So just be prepared for that. Be prepared to wait a little bit. Totally worth it. When you go here, you can look at a couple of their designs to get a little bit of inspiration, or you can go straight into your designs and start designing your own. I'm a pretty basic guy. I like what I like. I'm a big fan of flat dark earth and black mixed, and the two-tone look for me is really cool. I was thinking about doing like a Sandhawk version, and then I was looking at this two-tone slide, and then ultimately I fell on this one, which I really liked because I knew I was going to run a black light on the bottom, so the bottom half would be full black and then the top half would be full tan. If I double click here, we can go through the entire thing. Chambered in 9mm, size is government. The commander model is really cool, but for this one I wanted it to be full sized, and what's really cool is you can actually customize the serial number. So I do have this one, no one else can have it. I thought that was pretty cool. The frame style I went with was tactical, which gives you a rail. And then I went with the square trigger guard, and then the dust cover was standard. I did like the look of the full-length rail, but I thought this looked a little bit better. Because mine's a pretty simple build, all of my Cerakote was the same. And again, I went with an Elite series, and just the black on blackout was what it was called, E100. And I did that for all of those. Grip size small, grip style, chain link, a bunch of different options on there though. This is the prickle I was talking about, which has really good texture to it. So maybe if I did this again, I would consider that one. And then now you have some finger grooves, which is really cool. I don't think that was an option when I did this before. Well, that's sweet. For all those Cerakotes, I did the same, which is just the black out there. The trigger style, I really liked the short, straight option. I thought that looked cool. I like a heavy trigger on 1911s. 4 pounds really isn't that heavy at all, so I thought that was just perfect. For the front here, I really like the flush bull fit instead of the bushing, and then I went with the threaded barrel because I knew I was going to run it suppressed at some point, which it does shoot really well suppressed. For the barrel finished, I went with the polished steel. I thought that looked pretty good with the tan, but maybe if I did it again, I would go with the black. No reason in particular. I still think the silver looks awesome. I just, preference thing. For the slide, I went with the classic chain link. I really do like these other two designs. I just personally don't love slide cuts or porting like that, but I do love the look of those. So even though those have those there, I would still probably pick one. Just classic me, I went with what I know and like. I did do the Delta Point Pro slide cut, and then for the slide finish I went with the sand color, which was again an Elite series E150. The sight types, I went with the fiber optic and the high, and I personally think it just sits at the exact right spot. Huge fan of those. I could have got those Cerakoted to be the same tan, but for some reason I thought black looked pretty good. I did opt for the ambi safety, and then all of these set to black except for the hammer finish, which I set to the sand color. All of these small parts and pins I did for the most part black or blued. And that finishes off the build for me. So you can see why I'm so impressed with their site. I mean, don't even get me started on what the code looks like to design a website like that. Absolutely unreal. So you can tell that they have been doing this for a long time, and not just doing it, but doing it probably the best in the industry. The process is also really good after everything is submitted. When you finally put together your platypus, you have a timeline of where it's at in the creation process all the way until it reaches your FFL, which is super cool. For the build, I kept things pretty simple. For the optic, I went with one of my favorites, which is the Loophole Delta Point Pro in Flat Dark Earth, and I thought it was really cool they offered a direct to slide optic cut for this one because I was planning on running it anyway. These red dots are absolutely fantastic. I run them often as offset red dots on my AR setups, but for handguns they are super cool as well. The window is huge, the dot is clear, it's super easy to get your sight picture, and they are just built super well. For the light, I went with a basic Surefire X300, which I run on a ton of my handguns, mostly for the compatibility sake, because I like to be able to run a single holster with multiple guns, which Tier 1 concealed makes some of my favorite holsters for that purpose. This one is the MSP on the waistband in their Relv Moab camo, which does fit a ton of different handguns if you're running the same light. I'm a huge fan of these. I also have one of the only discount codes available for Tier 1 holsters on the kit page, so if you join just for that, it's worth it. Shooting this thing is really smooth. The slide is really nice. The fitments are very tight and smooth. The trigger is super crisp. Just overall very impressed with the whole thing. Like I said before, I've had literally zero reliability issues with it so far, which I think is incredible. Right out of the box, it was shooting perfectly, zero break-in period needed. And so far from all the other guys I know who run these, their experience has been the same. The only thing that kind of bothers me, and I'm really just trying to find something at this point because it's just a great gun, but it does get pretty dirty. I noticed my optic needs to be wiped off a couple times during training. It's really not that big of a deal, but carbon does tend to find its way around the entire gun. It really is nice and comfortable to shoot. Not as grippy as I would want, but that's mostly my fault for picking the Cerakote I did, as well as the chain link design is just smooth in general. They do have a prickle pattern that is way grippier, and I do think it looks super aesthetic, but I personally just love the look of the matching chain link design with the slide. I'll probably end up adding a Talon grip or something from Handle It Grips because I know they in particular do some custom stuff which might be better fit fit for this. Regardless of all of that, it still shoots incredibly well. Overall, I think the Platypus is amazing value for the money. I think it's insanely cool that you can customize every part of it and have the gun you want almost right out of the box. Stealth Arms took on an insane project and they absolutely dominated the industry with their process and their product. I'm a huge fan and I definitely can recommend this. As soon as you build out your own Platypus, make sure you head to the range and train so you can be a capable citizen, able and willing to defend innocent life. More coming to the channel this month. I will see you in the next one.